What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the On Purpose podcast, where we're always privileged to show up and serve you each and every week. And as we progress through the months in November, I wanted to run a little series. You're going to notice we don't have any guests this month. I did that because I wanted to take a minute to end 2024 by encouraging you to build momentum into 2025, to not wait until January 1st flips to have a New Year's resolution or start doing things we're supposed to be doing, but take advantage of where we're at now to create 2 months of momentum. And I've been doing some talks, in classes and on social media and stuff. And I thought I'd bring them to the podcast for this last month. Right. So I want to start this one off with talking about this. Your unique gifts are not what? Your unique gifts are not what? Before I tell you what I think that final word should be, I just want to take a minute and ask ourselves, what is our unique gift to the world? Because each of us has one. And it may not be something that changes the world on the grandest scale. Your gift may not cure cancer tomorrow. It may not put a man on a different planet tomorrow. But you still have a unique gift that allows you to make the world a better place. Right? There's something about you that makes the world you're in a better place if you lean into it. So when we think about this, we say, what is it that makes me unique? What is my unique gift, my skill, my personality trait that I'm blessed with, that I enjoy, that makes me feel good inside when I use it and I do it? What is it about me that if I share it with the world, people can learn, smile, sing along, dance, cry to it? Right? Because here's what I want you to realize. Your unique gifts are not yours. You have a responsibility to use your unique gifts, your uniqueness, whatever it is that makes you special, different than everybody else on the planet. What if you think about that as a responsibility to share it with the world so that it doesn't get lost when you pass away? Right? What if we say, okay, my unique gift is blank. I got to share this. I got to do more of this so that it doesn't get lost when I'm gone. Because we all can agree we're only here temporarily. But our gifts, our lessons we learned, the skills we have can go on for a lot longer than our physical being. So I wanted to emphasize that by sharing a story with you. So my grandma Jean, her parents died when she and her brother were young children. So they were raised in an orphanage. Right? One day she was notified she was being adopted by a loving family. The only catch was that they weren't going to take her brother. Her, her brother was the only person in the world that she knew truly loved her. How could she possibly be adopted and leave him behind? So she asked the family to take her brother. They didn't. They only wanted a little girl. So when she got to her new home, the home she's always wanted, but since it wasn't with her brother, she couldn't stay. She ran away and returned herself to the orphanage, a place that both her and her brother would live out the rest of their childhood lives. They didn't leave until they were 18. You would think my grandma would have all the reasons in the world to be bitter at this. The circumstances that brought her into a world where her parents died when they're young, to be raised in an orphanage. And I can only imagine what those conditions would have been like, way back in the early 1900s. You would think that she could be bitter, upset, cynical at a world that had dealt her such an uncruel hand. However, that wouldn't have been part of her gift. If she'd have acted that way, we'd have missed out on learning what my grandma's gift was. And that was simply that unconditional love always wins. See, she lived her life and is remembered as somebody that loved everybody, as someone that could always see the silver lining in the most stormy of clouds. She taught those around her to love despite their suffering, to choose love over being bitter, how to show up in love, even maybe when you don't feel like it, maybe when things are against you, to show up in love because you just don't know who's going to need it at that moment. What if she hadn't leaned into her unique gift? What if she hadn't allowed that side of her personality to shine out? Well, you see, she raised my mom. And my mom was raised around unconditional love and believing in love, that love will win. And now my mom, with that love as a foundation in her life, has added her unique gift to it, which is everything is going to work out just fine. That every dream you have is the best dream you can have. She's taking the love my grandma shared her, and now she's added her own unique skill, which is a healthy dose of believing in everything. See, my mom is the world's greatest cheerleader for anybody that comes to her with any idea. Because she knows if you believe, it may come true. Right? So what if my grandma hadn't leaned into her gift? How would my mom have been different? What if my mom hadn't taken my grandma's gift and added her own flair to it? How would I be different? You see, I learned from both of them the gifts to love, to believe in yourself. And I added my own unique thing, which was to take action and share it with the world. Right? To not keep my story to me, but to share it with everybody because somebody else might need to hear this story. It's here in these unique gifts of love and belief and action and sharing that I started this very show you're listening to, even though I had no idea if anybody would listen to it. I didn't even research how to run a podcast. I just thought I could do it. Wrote a book, retired early, traveled. And now because my grandma shared her uniqueness, my mom built upon it, I built upon it. Andrea and I have been married 25 years now. Andrea adds a little more to it, and that's the courage to be different. The courage to, at a certain point in life, go, hey, we've achieved everything people told us we're supposed to want, but we just don't feel fulfilled. Let's sell everything, travel all the time. To build communities where we go, to let others see what's possible when we dream together, build together, live together. Right? So we had love from my grandma, we had belief from my mom. I added in the action and the sharing. Andrea added in the courage to take leaps that others may not see as possibilities, to take risks where others want to play it safe. And now, because we're all leaning into these, we're sharing them, we're not hiding from it, we're not leaving it untapped. You look at the trickle down, now our children, my grandma's great-grandchildren, my mom's grandchildren, they're going even further because they know how to love, they know how to believe, they know how to take action, they know how to have courage to be different. Now you look at them, they're bucking traditional norms. They're living lives that mean something to them. They're okay being different. Understanding that life is not the same for everybody. It's not this cookie cutter approach. And just because somebody wants something doesn't mean you got to want it. And they're out living life at its fullest at such a young age because the people before them shared their gifts and allowed them space to say, wait a second, the people before me did this. What's my responsibility now to lean into my gift? What's my responsibility to live a life that makes the sacrifices of previous generations worthwhile, and yet creates a new realm of possibilities for the generations that are going to come, right? So we can't live in fear and live in our dreams. We can't hold back what we know we're supposed to be giving and feel fulfilled, right? For me, I can tell you my moments when I doubt myself, my moments when I'm uncertain, my moments when I'm really unhappy are usually when I'm stifling my own gift, which is sharing things with the world, living courageously and sharing things with the world. It's when I put off writing a blog because maybe I just don't feel like it. It's when I put off doing the things I know make me feel happy, make me feel like I'm contributing to the world. So, what is your unique gift? What is about you that lights up the room, that makes the people around you better? Let's think about that for a minute. And then let's challenge ourselves and say, wait a second, I have a responsibility to share what I've been blessed with so that others can learn from it, to grow with it, so that maybe I can make a difference in somebody's life on a day they need it the most. And by doing so, you pay tribute to those who came before you, whose gifts helped you get where you're at, and you set the stage for those coming after you, that there is an expectation that you live a full life on your terms, because it's the only one we're going to get. Thank you for joining me this week. Give that some thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and wherever you're following us on the DMs, on the social media, email us. As always, we appreciate you being here. And what is your unique gift that you need to be sharing with the world? Have a great week, everybody.